Hi everyone, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Saturday, December 17th of the year 2022, and this is FlossTube number 91. So as always, I want to welcome you all. Welcome back to all my current viewers and subscribers, and thank you, as always, for your continuing support. And I want to welcome anyone that's visiting for the first time. I hope that you like what you see today and you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. I hope that everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody's staying safe and sound. Everything's good here. I'm finally on vacation mode. I had my finals this week and I am off of school for the next month. I do go back to work the first week of January, but we do have the holiday break now. So I'm very, very glad because it was rough. It was rough going, but I made it through. Now we're just waiting on the verdicts. Now we're just waiting on the grades to come through. I do have a bit to show you guys. So without further ado, let's get to the stitching. And the first piece I want to show you is a cross stitch piece that I've been working on for the last couple of years. This is Sea Glass by Carolyn Manning. I started this in May 2020. A lot of us kind of banded together and we each chose one of her designs to start as part of a SAL. The hashtag was Manic Manning SAL 2020. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people finished theirs long before I have, but at least I can now say that I've joined. I finally finished mine. I stitched this on 18 count white Aida. Obviously, as you can see, I still need to wash and iron it, but it's done. And I'm very happy with the result. If you've been following me for last year, really, then you'll know that I split this up into 12 different pieces. Me and some of my stitchy friends kind of all we each chose a whip, and we all kind of divided it into 12 different sections, and the goal was to finish a section every month so that by the end of the year we could all have at least one finish for 2020. So this was my selection. It was just one of those things where I needed to check to see which one was plausible, because a lot of my whips are not something that I can finish within a year. And this, as it is, this one was fairly difficult. I had to do almost 1,800 stitches every month. But I got it done. I had to put it aside for a couple of months, maybe like 3 months, so I could focus on the Super Mario piece that I just finished at the end of November. So I had to play catch up. I ended up adding almost, it was like around 4,800 stitches on this one to catch up, because again, it's almost 1,800 stitches per month. So yeah, so this is, I think that this really is going to be my last finish for 2022. As I mentioned, I don't have too many pieces that are that close to being finished, at least not within relatively time, because I am going on vacation. I'm going to Mexico for the holidays. So yeah, so I'll be gone. However, I do want to keep stitching on things after I was finished with that one, and after I got over the finishing coma. It's a thing, at least for me, it's a thing. Like I'll sit there and I want to stitch, but I don't want to stitch at the same time. So I ended up starting to arrange my beads, because especially now that I've started a couple more fancy ladies, they all come with beads. So I'm like, okay, like I used to just have them in like a Ziploc bag, so I'm like, all right, I need to have a system now, because I'm getting more and more beads. So at least I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing something that's somewhat stitchy related, but not exactly stitching. So that ended up working out for me. Anyway, once that passed, I was okay with stitching again. I picked up my moon charmer. This is an Amy Stewart design from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is a piece that I started in May of 2019. So again, one of my older pieces. I just love the colors though. There's like a fantasy feel to it. So I really like this piece, and I do want to make steady work on it. So I've added 2,200 stitches to it in the last couple of weeks. This is what we're at so far. We're at 23%. We're at 23% completion. All of the stitching has been done on this section right here. I'm trying to avoid having to do all the black last. So, 'cause originally I thought I would do diagonal. I thought, oh, I'm just gonna do the pages, you know, do page by page and work on the diagonal pages, I should say. But considering how the design goes, if I were to do that, kind of go straight across here, that would still leave all of this and all of this black to go, and I wasn't for that life. I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. Obviously Hogwarts Castle was a big one. I think we're all gonna remember that for many more years to come. But also with Super Mario, I was working on blue for forever and ever. So I'm trying to avoid that happening again. So I'm trying to switch off. The plan is to finish this entire section here up until where her dress is in black. And then I'll go ahead and finish that those last few pages to go here. And then I'll go back and do more of the black, and I'll keep alternating between black and sky. But it's looking good. I really like how the colors in the sky are coming out. This will be one of my focus pieces next year. A little bit more on that later. I'm not sure if I feel like I may have talked about plans before. If not, I'll try to be brief. They keep changing, they keep alternating as more groups keep adding what they're doing for the new year, like what their challenges are going to look like for next year. So most of them have stayed the same, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So as I mentioned, that's 2,200 stitches added to Moon Charmer. And then last night I decided I wanted to go ahead and change it up for the weekend. And I picked up my Bella Filipina. This is Reyna Pass. And a lot of us started Bella Filipina on the Thanksgiving weekend. A fellow stitchy friend, Vicky from Stitching Button, she had a birthday sale, and she asked anyone that wanted to join to go ahead and work or start a Bella Filipina. So this was my selection. I've had her for a while. There was a hiccup with the fabric, which made for a restart. So this is what I have so far. I've added 200 stitches on her. I added 200 stitches on her last night. Still working on the dress. It's just kind of outlining the little mermaid skirt. But I do like how it looks on the green. This is a 32 count linen jade. It's a Belfast linen jade from Picture This Plus. So I think it's gonna look good with the rest of the colors as well. She's standing in the archway. So, and that has blue and green accents. I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but I think it'll look really nice with the green. So I'm really happy with the fabric choice. I'm liking how it's working out. This is my first time working on linen. So far so good. It is a little bit stiffer than what I'm used to, because I'm used to working on even weave. If anything, really Aida is what I've worked on for a long time. But for these fancy ladies, I know that you can't really do Aida. I mean, you can, but it's just hard with all the fractional stitches and the beading and whatnot. Oh, because that's the other thing is, I don't know if you can tell, but these teeny tiny little empty spaces, that's the hand already. Those are the fingers. So yeah, and that's all fractional stitches. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on this today and tomorrow. And then I am leaving for the holidays. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. So that's it. So speaking of going away, I am, as always been cross stitch, right? So I decided that my travel whip for my Christmas holidays is going to be Chopper. I may have to work on him for a little bit this weekend, because he's an easy enough whip to take. All I have to do, like, I may just go ahead and outline the second antler and finish it up so that I can work on that one. There's still quite a bit of blue left to go here. I mean, I'm not anticipating stitching much. If anything, I may be able to stitch like on the road. It's a 12-hour drive, so so I may be able to do some stitching on the road. Once I'm there, I don't anticipate to have too much stitching time, but just in case there's any downtime, I'll go ahead and bring this. I'll finish outlining the antlers so I can have some things to stitch and then call it a day. Aside from that though, I do want to pick up the Eternal Promise before the end of the year. So once I come back from my trip, I'll go ahead and work on that one a bit. I would want to add at least maybe 200-300 stitches on her, and then I am planning on filming a whip parade after I come back. There's a lot of things I need to take care of before I leave, so I'm not gonna have the time to do it beforehand. I decided I could film a quick a FlossTube update, a regular update, and then just leave the whip parade for after. For next year, I kind of briefly mentioned partial plans. So the same group of friends that I did the style with, of like breaking up a piece into 12 different sections, we are going to be doing that again. We are, because we kind of enjoyed the idea. So the piece that I picked for next year, I may have mentioned this previously, I picked Veronica. So I picked Veronica, Portrait of Veronica by Nora Corbett. I pretty much only have like this much done. So I barely started her. So I thought, okay, this might be a good piece to finish, especially because I'm starting, and I started Reyna in November, and then October I started Persephone. So I have 3 fancy ladies going now. So I'm like, okay, I should be able to at least finish one of them. So she's going to be my focus, my finish by 2023 piece. Another group that I'm participating on has asked us to pick 5 focus pieces, not necessarily for a finish, just pieces that you want to focus on monthly. So I went ahead and I did include Veronica as one of them. I also added Moon Charmer for that one. I set the goal as I think 2,000 monthly stitches, because that's, if I want to get a third of the whip done by the end of the year, that's how much I would need to do. So that's my second piece. The third piece that I picked was my Eternal Promise, which is again the one that I want to pick up once I return from my trip. And this is what it looks like. In case you forgot, it's been a minute. This is another one of my Hades. I forget what the artist's name is. I want to say Matt Stewart, but I feel like that's because of the actor. Anyway, for this one, the goal I set for myself was 3,000 stitches. That's still below what I would like to do, but I also know that once school starts, meeting those goals is going to be a lot harder. So I thought, okay, I'll just set it at 3,000, and if I can do more, because ideally we want to do 4,500. That's what I was doing this year. But with school, that's practically impossible nowadays. So I thought, okay, I'll do 3,000. If I'm able to do more, that's great. Like, for example, this month in January that I'm gonna be off of school, that's possible. If not, then oh well, I'll still keep it at 3,000 so I can still have some steady progress. And then the fourth piece that I chose is another one of my hates that's been neglected a lot. This is Reader's Paradise from Amy Stewart again. This is supersized max color, which is why it's been hard working on it. There's a lot of color changes, and that's really big. So, understatement. So I thought, okay, this piece is never gonna get done unless I put some good work on it. So I set the goal at 500 stitches per month. Again, I'm trying to not overburden myself, because right now the only section I have done is like this tiny little corner right here where the books are, where this first pile of books is. I kind of started on the carpet because that's also easy stitching. There's a lot of the same colors in that section, so again, that's quick stitching that I could do. But yeah, I decided, okay, 500 stitches for that one. I was also keeping in mind that there's going to be some pieces that are going to be easy to work on during the week. Like Moon Charmer has a lot of solid black, so that's going to be easy to get like 200 stitches in real quick. Versus this one, like this one's probably going to be more of a weekend piece, because I just I need to kind of step myself up and be able to do those constant color changes. The last piece that I chose for that group is going to be my Cinderella piece, Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream. It's a kit from MCG Textiles. It was one that Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, was kind enough to get to me. And again, I kind of noticed that I tend to steer towards the digital patterns, the ones that I have on Pattern Keeper, because a lot, the challenge groups normally ask for stitch count. There are a few that will allow you to count the time, so 1 hour is the equivalent of 100 stitches. But I thought, okay, I need, just like with Veronica, right? I need to be able to just work on it as well. So I picked Cinderella for that one because it's a relatively big piece as well. And I did want to, I was really happy when I got it. So I'm like, okay, I should work on it. So those are going to be the 5 pieces that you're going to see a lot of next year. In addition to that, if and when I have the time to stitch more, I decided that the theme for next year is going to be this shouldn't have taken me this long. And I'll basically try to finish as many smaller whips as possible, or whips that are relatively simple, that again shouldn't have taken me this long to finish. First one up is going to be Lilac Evening. This is what she looks like. I started her in February 2019. Again, one of my older pieces, and all I have left to do is kind of finish up on the details on her clothes right here. So there's some on this side as well. And I'm pretty sure that's like the end. If that's not the end, then it's very close to the end, to like the edge of the design, because it kind of just fades. There's no definitive like edge to it. And then I just have to add the beads. There's quite a lot of beading, and then on top of her hat I have some flowers. So, and that's like ribbons. So yeah, so it's not a lot. It's really not a lot, especially considering that I can get a lot done in an hour for this one. So I'm hoping to finish her, if not before her birthday, then on her birthday, and then move on to others. Another one that I want to finish is my Katrina piece from Yanni Stitcher. Ideally would like to have her finished before September, before Mexican Independence Day. And then I also have Park Hopper Bart's Tomb Sweet Tomb, inspired by the Haunted Mansion ride, that I would like to have finished by Halloween. And again, it's one of those things where I feel like it's not a difficult design. For that one specifically, I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it, because there's technically two separate patterns that you have to do. First is a frame. I'll kind of show you, because I bought this makeup kit, so I'm just gonna use this as reference for now. So you have the frame. You have the frame, and then he added the writing as like a separate pattern that you can do on another piece of fabric. So I don't know if I want to do a separate piece of fabric, or if I just want to go ahead and like stitch a white white background and just stitch the Tomb Sweet Tomb in that background. So I'll have to see. I'll have to figure out what I want to do. But again, that's just another piece that I would like to finish before the holiday, before Halloween. Can't really think of any of my Little Prince as well. I started this one Pattern Keeper, so I can show you, because it's been so long. People have forgotten about it. This is the Little Prince from Mandarinx Designs, and I started this in November 2020, along with Iron Man. So both of those are pieces that I didn't think would take this long. And this one in particular, the entire background is half stitched. So again, between that and the fact that it's on Pattern Keeper, so counting stitches is no problem whatsoever. There's no reason why it should still be a whip. So yeah, so just a lot of whips, a lot of patterns that should have been a quick stitch and they weren't. So yeah, so that's just something that I'm going to try to keep up with. But again, I'm also going to be kind to myself, and especially after this semester, oh my goodness, like, I mean, the difference between community college and university level classes is just very, very noticeable. So after this semester, it was just kind of like shell shock, like, what? So that was an eye-opener. That really was an eye-opener as to how much time I had to devote. There was one class in particular, I took a Japanese course for fun, It ended up being the wrong play. I had more homework in that class than I did in any of my other classes. Literally like 2 to 3 hours a day. And then my engineering classes, like, no thank you. So hopefully next semester will be a little bit easier in that sense, because most of my classes, like, our homework is just labs that we do in class that we have to come home and just write up. So I'm hoping that the homework load is a little bit easier, but still, there's a lot of studying that I need to do as well. So yes, I'm also gonna be kind to myself. Like, I have my planner. I have my planner for my cross stitching stuff. And I have all these things written down, but I'm also thinking, like, if you can't do it, then oh well. So another thing I was going to do was I wrote down, like, on the calendar page, I wrote down the birthdays of my current whips. So January 1st last year, this year I started Medusa from Unconventional Cross Stitch. January 1st, January 6th I started my Sleeping Beauty pattern, and then on the 17th I started my Disney Villain Ladies. So ideally I would like to stitch on each of them on their birthday, but again, if it's like the middle of the week and I'm swamped with homework or what have you, then I'll just let it go, and I may just stitch on it like the weekend before or after. So yeah, so we'll see how much I get done on this one. It's always fun to plan, but sometimes plans don't actually come to be. But that's all I had to talk to you about today. A lot of blabbering, and I apologize for that. I try to keep it interesting by, like, showing cover photos and whatnot. But yeah, as I mentioned, Whip Parade will be coming after I come back from my trip, and then I do hope to continue filming, if not on a weekly basis, at least bi-weekly. Because yeah, I'll be off of school, so I'll have a little bit of time, all the time. I also slept. As soon as I got done, I was going to work on one of my challenge groups, and I was like, I have all the time in the world. I ended up taking like a 4-hour nap in the middle of the day, so still recuperating. But still, I'll be able to stitch a lot more this month, so I'm very happy. Anyway, so that's all from me. As always, if you have any questions about anything that you saw today, feel free to leave me a comment. I do wish you all a very happy holiday season. Hope you enjoy it with your loved ones, or whether it be a small celebration or a big celebration, they're all good in the end. And yeah, as always, I wish you a relaxing weekend, a productive week, and I hope that you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. Until next time, ciao.